Alright guys, thanks for giving this a watch. I'm going to go over what I did to create this 2007 Toyota Tacoma Overland build. I have a cheat sheet. Full disclosure, I can't remember half of this crap. I've done so many random things, and honestly, I'm probably forgetting a lot of things. But let's go for it. Starting at the front, this is a Move bumper. This is their classic bull bar bumper kit, which I have mounted a worn VR Evo 10S, which is a synthetic line winch. That has been really great. It has a remote control that's wireless, which is really nice. So you can get out of the way, winch what you need to. If something happens, hopefully you're out of the way. So that's been great. Rigid fog lights. The reason I did those is they are DOT compliant, but whatever, lights are lights. Front camera. So I put a switch box in this unit that's all controlled through a ProComp SS switch, or SS6, which is the capacitive touch, like glass panel control unit. And what I've done, I have a front camera, and then I have a camera tucked up under here, in front of each wheel, so when I'm off-road I can get a good view of what I'm dealing with. When you're wheeling alone, sometimes it's a little sketchy when you don't have a spotter, so that helps a lot. Solar panel. I have a Cascadia 4x4 solar panel, which has been great. I mean, the whole idea behind that is if I'm camping somewhere and I'm using the battery on the truck, which I try not to do, but if I'm running my diesel heater or leaving the fridge running or whatever, if I run the battery down low, it gives an opportunity to recharge that battery before I wake up. I forget how many watts it is, but it charges up pretty quickly. We also have the Cali raised ditch light bracket with the KC 2-inch LEDs. Those are great, but once again, lights. Everybody has lights. I don't know why I'm talking so much about them. Roof rack. This is the up-top Overland with, you guessed it, more lights. Those are Baja Design. I think they call those rock pods or something like that. But these little brackets are from up-top Overland, and they fit in perfectly. They work great. The rooftop tent. This is a 23-0 Walkabout 56. The reason I bought this is because it has light suppression technology, and I hate light when I'm sleeping. So that has enabled me to sleep past the crack of dawn when I'm camping. I love that. Red Rock Overland bed rack. I mean, it's a piece of metal, so ta-da. Compressor in the bed. I've got a single ARB compressor with a mount from Expedition Essentials. Let's open this up here. Which is neat. Ow. Yeah, don't forget about that. Which is neatly tucked up in here. And this is a great design. I mean, it's out of the way. This is really unused space in the bed, so I like that. Dometic refrigerator. This is the CFX55IM, which means it has an ice compartment, which is neat. I don't really use it for ice. I like to put ice cream and popsicles in there. This is a Tembo Tusk refrigerator slide with a cutting board slide, so that's a neat little kitchen setup. Let's see. Oh yeah, another doodad, which is a backup camera from Alpine, but this is an integrated license plate frame with lights, so we're all DOT compliant. Everything's good there. Let's see. We have the Molly panel with a Max Custom Tie Downs chainsaw scabbard. That's great. I really don't like my chainsaw flying around and bouncing all over the place. Then down underneath everything that I just opened up, we have Baja Design chase lights and rigid D-series flush mount lights. Okay, let's go under the hood and see what we have done under here, which, to be completely honest, isn't a whole lot. Just a few little upgrades. Okay, so the first is, I don't really want to call this a snorkel, I'll call it a cold air intake from the cowl, I guess. But the whole idea behind this is, you know, it's up here at a level well above the tire, right up near the base of the windshield, so I really don't think we're ever going to be in water that deep. If we get up, you know, beyond the headlight, we're out of luck anyways. So let's see, the other thing we did was a mean green alternator, 300 amp. The stock was 100 amp. I have so many things running on this truck that I like to have that power. And while doing that, we upgraded the alternator cable, starter cable, part of the wiring harness over to the fuse panel with larger cables. The kit's called Big 7. It's from toyotacables.com, and that was pretty easy to install and worked well. We have an oversized battery, which is a Group 31 battery from Odyssey, and CBI made a bracket that fits this just perfectly, so that's what I went with there. Okay, undercarriage, rock sliders. I don't remember what brand those are. I bought them at 4 Wheel Parts. They're heavy and they seem to work well. I've rubbed them on a few things and nothing bad has happened. Then we have the lower control arm skids from Bay Area Metal Fab with a rear diff skid from Bay Area Metal Fab. Then we have a front, mid, and transmission skid plate. And those are from Mountain Off-Road Enterprises. Honestly, the price was pretty good, and I think they're 3/16. I don't know. They're heavy, and they've served me well. 35-inch tires. These are Milestar Patagonia MT02s on Method NV305 wheels. I got a whole video on stuffing those, so I'll link that at the end of the video. Rough Country 3.5-inch Vertex lift. Front and rear lockers with 529s from East Coast Gear Supply. That was necessary. I had the 529s when I had 33s, and it wound up pretty high on the highway. With 35s, you can go 65 somewhat comfortably, and I mean somewhat. It's not fantastic. But yeah, I would say if you're daily driving, you probably want 488s. Actually, I don't know how it is on an automatic. This is a 6-speed manual, so that might be totally different for you guys with automatics. All I can say is this thing is really just a weekend vehicle for me that I only take on trails. So if you're daily driving, I don't know, maybe you want 529s, maybe you want 488s, maybe you have another idea altogether. Good luck. Let's see. Let's go inside. There really isn't a whole lot done in here. I'm not huge on modifying things that don't necessarily need to be modified. The first thing I did when I got this truck, I mean like that very weekend, was I ripped out all the seats, the whole interior, gutted the carpet, and put rubber in. That way I can just hose the darn thing out, and it's a little easier to maintain. Plus, when you go through water crossings and you get water in here, you don't get that soggy, nasty carpet. So this is a Expedition Essentials mount that's made for the newer second gen. I think it's like 2012 or 11 and up. I could be wrong. The brackets to mount this didn't work, so I made my own brackets and drilled into the dash, and that was fine. But this houses my ProComp SS6. I actually have 2 of them. One for the cameras and chase lights, The other for diff lock enable, air compressor, all kinds of doodads. I honestly didn't think I'd be so in love with a cell phone mount, but this quad lock with wireless charging is fantastic. I mean, I've been bouncing around trails and that just stays right there. So I do like that. Let's see. We've got a streamlight here on the door that is wired into the electric window circuit, which is cool. This just stays charged. It's always ready for me. I did a B&M short throw shifter just because my factory shifter was loose and flopping all over, so bye-bye. We've got a Midland MXT 500, I believe, yeah, or I think that's what it's called, MXT 500. It's the 50-watt GMRS that allows you to hide the main box, and all the controls are on the radio, which is awesome. And then I deleted my rearview mirror and put a iPad up here running on X Off-Road or whatever software I want. That's really about all of it. Oh, the rear swing out tire carrier, that was from, well, I had to custom build it because Move Bumpers didn't have a kit at the time, and I don't know if they do now. I haven't looked since. But that was fun to build, and the hinge is from 4x Innovations. It actually has a wheel bearing inside of it. It's really strong and nice. And the latch was from 4x Innovations as well. So I was able to at least get some moving parts that were manufactured for it that made it pretty darn simple to build. The whole thing is just figuring out where you want your tire placement and what have you. I added a strut on here just because I just don't care for movement when these are open, and that really locks it in. I mean, there's a pin that locks it, but even that pin, if I yank on it, it's got a good amount of movement. So the strut pushes that away. Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of other little things on here, but nothing super different than what everybody else has done. I gotta say, I mean, this truck is it's been through a lot of crap, and it's made it well. It hasn't left me stranded yet, but watch, now that I say that, insert foot in mouth, watch it break down on the way home. No, honestly, I mean, it's capable. It's done a lot for me, and it's been fun to build. So if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'd be more than happy to answer anything that I've done to this truck. It's my hobby, so let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.